is the scientist that was the inspiration for the lead character in the blockbuster movie Jurassic Park involved in a conspiracy to hide the most shocking discovery in recent scientific history.
Oh no.
This is Dr. John Robert Horner. Known as Jack, Dr. Horner is arguably the most famous paleontologist in recent history.
You consulted on that movie.
I did consult on all those movies.
And they said the guy, Alan Grant, was you.
Yes. Yeah, well, fortunately, he didn't get eaten.
A fervent atheist and outspoken supporter of Darwinian evolution, it was Dr. Horner's team back in 2007 that shocked the scientific world by finding soft tissue in dinosaur bones.
We all know that bones are fossilized, and so if you dump it into acid, there shouldn't be anything left. But there was something left. There were flexible, clear blood vessels. And so here was the first soft tissues from a dinosaur.
Something nobody believed could happen. This is Dr. Mary Schweitzer, the scientist who made the discovery that there was soft tissue in dinosaur bones.
This is the piece.
No.
She showed us video she took under the microscope.
That's really what happened?
Yes.
That's the dinosaur bone?
It looked like the soft tissue she would have expected to find if it had been modern bone. This was impossible. This bone was 68 million years old.
So you see this and you think, what? You say,
I didn't want to tell anybody.
that you'd be ridiculed,
Yes.
right?
Mary Schweitzer attended Montana State University in Bozeman, Montana, where she first met Jack Horner. After attending a lecture that Horner presented on dinosaurs, she introduced herself. "Hi Jack, I'm Mary. I'm a young Earth creationist, and I'm going to show you that you are wrong about evolution." "Hi Mary, I'm Jack. I'm an atheist." Jack Horner proceeded to convert Mary Schweitzer from a young Earth creationist to an old Earth evolutionist.
And he's found the perfect partner in his protege, Mary Schweitzer.
And so I said to my technician, okay, do it again. I don't believe it.
And yet, in sample after sample, they were there. Things that looked suspiciously like flexible, transparent blood vessels. She finally mustered the courage to tell Jack.
Why would she have to muster the courage to tell Jack that she may have possibly just made the most important discovery in recent scientific history?
She said she dissolved the bone away and there were blood vessels. And, I was like shocked. I mean,
How could that be?
How could that be? That's right.
Science and Jack had a problem. In order for Darwinian evolution to be remotely feasible, they needed deep time. Jack's main area of research for the past 20 years is the belief that dinosaurs evolved into birds, something that obviously would have taken a tremendous amount of time. He also believes that he and his team will be able to build a dinosaur out of bird DNA.
We have discovered that dinosaur DNA and all DNA just breaks down too fast. We're just not going to be able to do what they did in Jurassic Park. We're not going to be able to make a dinosaur based on a dinosaur. But the chicken is a dinosaur. I mean, it really is. I mean, you can't argue with it because we're the classifiers and we've classified it that way.
The possibility that the soft tissue in dinosaur bones found by Jack's team were found because dinosaurs were actually here tens of thousands of years ago rather than tens of millions of years ago wasn't an option for Jack. On a phone call that was never supposed to air, longtime radio personality Bob Enyart offered Jack Horner $20,000 if he would be willing to carbon date his and Mary Schweitzer's soft tissue discovery.
Hello.
Hello, could I speak to Jack Horner?
Yeah, let me transfer you over to his office.
Hello?
Hello, Jack. This is Bob Enyart with KLTT Radio in Denver.
Uh-huh.
Jack, I sent a letter to Bob Harmon a few weeks back offering the museum a grant of $8,000 to do a carbon-14 date test of that soft tissue T-Rex you guys dug up. And I'm wondering if you saw that or considered it.
Well, carbon-14 doesn't work on something that old.
I understand that, and normally we wouldn't expect to get soft tissue out of a T-Rex skeleton either, but sometimes science proceeds by crossing your T's and dotting your I's, and in fact, in the last couple of weeks, I've been able to raise a little more money that we'd be honored to give you guys if you would consider doing that test.
Well, we can't do that test.
You can't do that?
No.
Do you mean the museum doesn't have the laboratory?
We certainly don't.
Okay, well, we're happy to pay the expense of having a lab do the test in addition to the $10,000 to the museum.
Do you know how carbon-14 works?
Yeah, I'm familiar, and I realize it's useless for anything over maybe 50,000 years or so. Jack, is the amount too small that it's just not worth the consideration?
No, that's not it.
Okay.
Let me tell you where I'm coming from here.
Sure.
All right. Obviously, your group is a group of creationists,
Yes.
and the spin they can get off of it,
Right.
doing it, is
Well,
not going to help us.
Yeah. So even though it's just a scientific test, they're not
Well,
asking
it's
for voodoo
not
or anything.
It's not actually a scientific test. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Carbon-14 dating something with soft tissue in it. Jack, if I could raise $20,000, would it be worth?
I will talk to Mary Schweitzer about it.
Okay. I appreciate that.
I want to know what group is sponsoring it.
Okay.
Mhm.
It's
I mean, I need some really specific details about.
Sure.
And don't just tell it to me straight.
Of
okay.
course. I've hosted a daily talk show for 15 years. We're on a 50,000 watt AM station, KLTT, and there's a local church here that's offered to help.
Okay.
So we could, if you guys agree, we could send you the check within 24 hours.
Okay. Well, let me talk to Mary, and let me just talk to a few people.
Okay.
Because I don't want to, I can't afford to have it turn into a circus.
Right. All right. Thank you so much, Jack.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
So Jack spoke with his people, and the test was never allowed to be done. What are they afraid of? The excuse that there isn't carbon material in this soft tissue is very likely untrue. They've found collagen, blood vessels, protein, all organic material that can be carbon-14 tested.
In our lab in Montana, basically this is what we're trying to do. Take a chicken, making a dino chicken.
Does Jack Horner have too much writing on this?
But it's further down the road.
Or is his deep time bias not allowing him to do good science?
Because evolution works, birds are actually carrying ancestral DNA.
If this test came back proving that dinosaurs were here less than 50,000 years ago, everything science thought it knew about deep time and Darwinian evolution would be overturned. And it would also mean that dinosaurs didn't have enough time to evolve into chickens, which would end Jack Horner's research.
But
So maybe there will be a dino chicken.
I'm sure there'll be a dino chicken.
You're sure there'll be a dino chicken?
I think we'll be able to make a dino chicken within the next 5 years.
Is this why Jack Horner and his people didn't allow carbon-14 testing on the soft tissue found in dinosaur bones?